up to another good morning. Time to go. Oh, we are all looking for adventure. We are all looking for adventure. We are all
Welcome back to the 3x5 Live
podcast.
On this podcast, we talk about mindset, mindfulness, productivity, everything self-development. And we are heading into August here. It's crazy.
We are. It's so crazy. Oh, sorry.
No yawning allowed.
No, I'm sorry.
Come on. So this week, we wanted to talk about living your life in quarters. I recently have rolled out EOS, which is Entrepreneurial Operating System, also known as Traction, within my business. And it really breaks your life down in quarters and your business down in quarters. And this can completely, and I've learned how it's completely aligned with my personal life as well. Mm-hmm. Just living these quarterly rocks, as they call them in this book called Traction. So if you think about, they call rocks goals, because if you think about, picture a jar and you're trying to fill that jar and you have rocks, you have sand, you have pebbles, you have water. What do you need to put in first? You have to put the rocks in first, because if you put the sand in, then the rocks aren't going to fit. Mm-hmm. And that really demonstrates or gives you that visual of those are the things you need to focus on, the big things, not the little pebbles, not the sand, all the other little minutia that gets in the way of you achieving your big goal. So and Traction teaches you how to essentially, what are the 3, 4, 2, whatever, like the small number of rocks that are going to move your life or your business forward in the next 90 days. And that is all you focus on. So let's just say you had a long list of 6, 7, 8 items that you want to focus on personally, or that you wanted to focus on in your business. You only pick 3 or 4 of them, and then you just forget about the rest until the beginning of next quarter. And every day you are working towards progressing to the end goal of completing whatever that rock is by the end of 90 days.
I mean, I think this aligns to your practice. You've always used the word rocks and like scheduling your rocks with the cards. Like you use the 3x5 cards in order to do that. But I think this lens has you looking at it in more of like a bite size. Like you said, it's a 90-day quarterly type review where you can shift those rocks or change those rocks or move those rocks around, where I think before you were looking a little bit more long-term and your rocks tended to stay the same.
Yep.
Like you kind of had this. So I like the idea of being able to reassess at the end of 3 months, because a lot can shift and change with where you are personally, where your business could be, what is the big priority in that moment. So I like this idea of quarterly, and you're right. It does translate to your personal life too.
Yeah. And the point is to, at the end of the quarter, is literally you take a day and you sit there and you go, okay, what did I accomplish with these rocks this past quarter? And what are the priorities next quarter? And you really map that out. So if you had a list for your business, it's just like, oh, I need to revamp my website. Maybe that's one of like the things you have on your list. You're like, okay, over the next 90 days, does that need to be done? Or can I just push that off to next quarter? So it really allows you to narrow in on what you need to accomplish to move things forward. I know I keep saying that, but that's really the practice behind it. So I have been, we're going into August, we're a month into some of my rocks. Mm-hmm. And I had like the, oh crap moment at the beginning of this week where I'm like, I'm falling behind on some of these. So really what that does for me is it slows time down, where it's just like, okay, this is the end of July. I have 2 more months. So if, let's just say I had some goal where, one of my goals is I have 100 lead calls. I need to call these 100 different leads. If I break that down, 33, I should have 33 done by the end of July. And if all of a sudden you're sitting there at 15, it's really quantitative to know that you're falling behind. Mm-hmm. So
I know that we have a couple products that we also have launched alongside to partner with the cards. And one of them is a habit tracker. To be full transparency, I was looking for something that was more stationary and something more visual. And so Bri actually does this, lives his life in quarters, where he's created like a spreadsheet. I basically we've talked about in our other podcast, that like wheel of life where you look at the different pieces of the pie that make up your self-care. So your physical environment, your movement, your mental health or mindfulness pillars, all those pillars that are really important to us. And I use that each quarter to assess where I am and what might need work. And then I take this habit tracker, which we can attach in the show notes to you. I don't even know if it's a habit tracker, more it's just a tracking system that takes quarterly. So I have on mine right now, July, August, and September, and like a bunch of check boxes. And it allows me to change those depending on where I am in that self-care wheel. Yeah. So if it's like hydration that I'm feeling like I need to focus on because it's slipped a little bit, that becomes one of my pieces on that habit tracker. If it's, eating healthier, like eating more clean, having more clean days, like that goes on there. So and it also makes you feel more successful. I think when you have it bite size, if you are out of alignment with your goal for a little bit, it's not like the entire year is shot and you just give up on it.
Yeah. And what happens there with what Jesse's talking about is you go into the beginning of, Q3 and you're like, all right, July and August, my clean days might be a little slacking because it's the summer season. If you had that as a year-long tracker, you'd be like, oh, I suck, you know?
Yeah. And then discouraged.
Yeah, and you become discouraged. So you can massage that knowing, okay, the next couple months, I know I have these vacations. I know I have these lake days, whatever it is. So then you're like, okay, what is a more achievable, slightly stretch goal to have those clean days or whatever that is that you're tracking.
I mean, yeah, it gives great self-awareness because you are reflecting more than you would if it was like a year-long goal too, like looking at the end of it. And then we have them in like little buckets. Like I have them for like a date night with Bri, or like specifically trying to see our parents more, and, going out to dinner with specific friendships. Like it's allowing me to prioritize, and it's on my refrigerator. So I see it every single day. And I really loved, and this is the first time I've ever chunked my goals in quarters ever. Yeah. And I am finding myself hitting my goals way more than I've ever hit my goals.
Well,
before.
I think being more motivated to hit your goals.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's more bite-sized, and because it's chunked into this package that seems very personalized to what is going on in my life at the moment.
Yes,
exactly. If it's a busy season or a slower season, or it's a hot season outside, or what, like it works really well.
Yeah. And then when you do some future visioning, I don't know why for me, and this sounds really bizarre, but 3 years from now seems like a long time. So I'll do like, in my business, we did like a 3-year vision, like where we want to be in 3 years. But when I say, okay, that's 12 quarters away, 12 quarters seems not very long in my mind for whatever reason.
No,
three years seems like a really far time. So 12 quarters, I'm like, okay, that's 12 rocks that I'm going to have to accomplish to get to that vision. Yeah. And for some reason, it just clicked in my brain where like, wow, we got to get moving if we want to hit this 3-year goal or this 3-year vision.
I love looking at time with a sense of urgency. I think that that's a message that we've talked about before. There is a sense of urgency in our time. And I think so often we get stuck in like the muck where we're just like going through the motions every day without being intentional with what we're trying to accomplish. And before we know it, we blink and it's been a year. So I do agree with that 100%.
Yeah. Because now, I mean, I don't look at it as a year anymore. And that's how I've always, I still do my yearly goals and whatnot. Yeah. But now it's just like these 90-day sprints where when I'm at the office, I just find myself, I'm that much more productive. Or with some of my personal habits that I'm chasing, I'm that much more intentional. Like right now I have a Spartan race. I've never done a Spartan race at the end of this quarter, So instead of just like my normal workouts, I'm prioritizing. I'm like, what is going to get me to that goal is if I'm doing some HIIT workouts, and doing a lot more pull-ups. So I'm being very intentional with these 90 days with the type of workouts I'm doing. So yeah, challenge, just some food for thought, like challenge your idea of how you're setting goals. Maybe try to play around with doing a little check-in with where you are right now. What are some things that are really important to you, those rocks that you could move a little bit in these next 3 months? And then we'll attach different forms of... No, I was going to say, if they want to email us, we can send them the habit tracker. Okay, yeah. You can email us and we can... Yeah, Bryan.Jessie@3by5life.com. Yeah, it's probably the best way. Right. And then you can just make a copy of it and make it personalized. Or you could use the habit tracker cards as well. Just for me, that hasn't been as easy because I lose I don't have those cards in the same place. Exactly. Cool. Well, that's what we got this week. We hope you guys enjoyed the end of July
I know. It's all right.
All right. We'll see you guys next time.
We are all